I wanted God. I wanted the truth. Ever since I was a child, I wanted this. And so I went on that journey like most of you are. It had its own beauty to it. I met a lot of cool people, right? I had a lot of awesome experiences. I traveled the world. I did a lot of things, explored different states of consciousness. And what I discovered at the end of my seeking was that there was nothing to find. And I don't mean there's nothing to find in like some spiritual sense, like there's nothing to find. It's just gonna happen. No, like when I say there's nothing to find, I literally mean that there's nothing to find, because find is A to B. I don't have it now, I need to find it, right? But what you are is already what you are. There's nothing to find, right? And so we get sold this idea that there's this journey that we go on to find ourselves. And then in the end, the universe gives you a little wink and it's like, haha, gotcha. You were home the whole time. It's like the biggest cosmic joke. It is the biggest cosmic joke. But the mind cannot accept that, right? And so this message is for spiritual seekers who are still really trying to find something with the mind. And oftentimes it is the beliefs, it is the thoughts that are blocking us on the spiritual path. Even though the spiritual path offers us all of these beliefs, paradoxically, on a path in order to free ourselves from beliefs. But because we're so entrenched in thought and character identification, we don't actually see what's happening, right? And so it takes someone who's clear from the identification with thought to guide people into this space. I mean, this is one of the ways to do it anyway. And my approach with guiding people into awakening is just going super, super duper direct. Okay? It's not about, the traditional Advaita approach or Buddhism where you have to meditate all of this time, where you have to do mantras or do good karma or purify. All of that stuff can help, right? Of course, when we're emotionally balanced, when we've healed trauma and our mind is calmer, we're able to receive blessings easier. We're able to receive truths better. Like that just makes sense. But it's not about relying on these spiritual practices and teachings in order to really see the truth of reality, because the truth of reality is not a journey. The truth of reality is right here. Okay, and this is the most important message that I have for you. And once you realize this, there's literally nothing else to talk about. Like I see this in my one-on-ones when it's like, people will come with all of these questions and I'll say, okay, just hang on to your questions. Let's just do, a guiding into presence, and the head will pop often. And there's like, it's kind of like you're accessing a different dimension of reality that's always been here, but you've just been so wrapped up in the thinking mind, believing that you were this story, that you were this narrative that the thoughts were telling you. And then you're like, oh, wait, that was just a story playing out in my mind. That was just a bunch of words and thoughts. And this feels really peaceful. And there's literally nothing else to talk about because it's so simple. It's so just direct, and it's so just what is already, that the questions fall away, because the questions are for the mind. The questions are for the character, for the thinking construct, right? The orientation of one believing that they are a character, believing that they are a person, when in fact they are this light, this clearness, this everythingness, right? What does everything feel like right now? And what's witnessing that? What's witnessing everything right now? Can you point to the one who's witnessing it? Does it have a location? Does it have a center? What's here that's always here? What's here that you can't turn off right now? Everything is witnessing everything, yeah. The infinite experiencing infinity. We can speak like that. But don't even get wrapped up in those ideas like I am the infinite experiencing infinity, because we use words to point to what's beyond words, but it's not about, oh, now I'm infinity. That's it. I'm infinity now. Or whatever the new kind of pop word of non-duality is for the next couple months. You know, for a long time it was like the no self, and then like the no me, and, you know, free falling, right? This, right? Suchness, what is, consciousness, awareness, right? And that's okay. And I use all of those words as well. But it's not about getting stuck on a word, right? Because then we just idolize. We create an idol out of consciousness, out of awareness, out of free falling, right? Out of surrender, right? And it's okay that we use these words to point to the words, but it's not a word. It's actually just what's here. And so the spiritual journey, the intent of the spiritual journey is to bring one into contact. Well, it's not even contact because it is what you are, but into a recognition of the non-hypnotized space. Let's say it like that for now. The non-hypnotized space is what we are aiming for in the spiritual path, but it's already here. It's just that you've been believing a delusion that you were something else, right? So it can feel like a journey that one goes on in order to discover this, and that's how it appeared for me, right? I did a lot of spiritual seeking, a lot of tears I cried, a lot of frustration, a lot of just challenges and efforting and money invested and time invested, right? Lots of prayers, all of that. I did all of that. I wanted God. I wanted the truth. Ever since I was a child, I wanted this. Yeah. But who wanted it? Who is the one that wants awakening? Who is the one that wants a spiritual journey? Who is the one that wants to be free? I want to be free. Okay, there's a thought that says I want to be free. But who's choosing that thought? Because I didn't choose to go on the spiritual journey. I didn't choose to desire this. I didn't choose to be interested in this. It chose me, in a sense, right? It chose me. And so I went on that journey like most of you are, and got really caught up in it, and it's okay. It had its own beauty to it. I met a lot of cool people, right? I had a lot of awesome experiences. I traveled the world. I did a lot of things, explored different states of consciousness. And what I discovered at the end of my seeking was that there was nothing to find. And I don't mean there's nothing to find in like some spiritual sense, like there's nothing to find. It's just gonna happen. No, like when I say there's nothing to find, I literally mean that there's nothing to find, because find is A to B. I don't have it now, I need to find it, right? But what you are is already what you are. There's nothing to find, right? And so we get sold this idea that there's this journey that we go on to find ourselves, right? And that's okay, because this is what eternity does with infinity. Sorry if it's noisy. This is what eternity does with infinity, right? Why not go on a 40-year journey to find yourself, right? And then in the end, the universe gives you a little wink and it's like, haha, gotcha. You were home the whole time. It's like the biggest cosmic joke. It is the biggest cosmic joke. But the mind cannot accept that, right? And so this message is for spiritual seekers who are still really trying to find something with the mind. They're trying to use the knowledge that they've developed. They're trying to gain something. They're trying to acquire something, right? But there's nothing more than what is. okay? The journey that you believed you were going on was taking place within the prize that that journey was trying to earn, okay? This moment is the prize, okay? The past and the future are the delusions. The past and the future is where the suffering is caused. Doesn't mean there's never going to be any more pain or challenges, but the mental narrative is seen through to be just complete gobbledygook. Nothing wrong with the story, but it's just so obviously not what you are anymore. You are this freedom, you are this freshness of life, you are this everythingness, you are this fullness, and yet it is an emptiness that's experiencing all of it. An emptiness that you can't point to. An emptiness that's always here. And don't get caught up on any of these words. Emptiness kind of sounds scary, but it's like it's no location. It's completely quality. There's no quality to it. And yet it is the capacity of life that holds everything. So discovering this is the spiritual journey that one goes on. And in the end, it's just right here. So you can do the spiritual practices if you want, right? People can, I've talked to people that, and I've met people, they've had, awakening experiences with a guru, doing yoga, doing meditation for absolutely no reason. They didn't even know what spirituality was. Like there's many ways that you can access this realization. But in the end, the realization is just what's right here, okay? And this is what I facilitate, and this is why I'm offering this live today to share with people, a little taste of what I do in my one-on-one sessions. Because the truth is so simple, and it makes sense that it's simple. So what's here right now that you can't get out of? What's here without any effort? If you just take away all of the labels, all of the stories, what's here? What's here without the words? Everything. That's a word, yeah. Everything beyond the concept of everything. And where does everything exist? Here. And when does everything exist? Now. And is there anything ever outside of everything, aka here and now? How could there be? We can imagine that there's a story, but even that's taking place in the here and now. Without dimensions, yeah, without expectations. Here and now are also concepts, yeah. Past and future are also concepts as well. Well, of course, it's in reference to the past and the future, right? So we say now as a way to compare with the delusion that we thought that was real. So it's not even now, it's just what is. Good call, Helios. It's just what is. There's nothing other than what is. There's nothing outside of this. There's nothing outside of you, right? We imagine that there's others. We see that there's others. But this light, this capacity for life that's just shooting off in every single direction, right? This miracle of existence that you are in right now in this moment, cannot be added to, cannot be taken away from, cannot be cut in half. That doesn't even make sense. There's no dimensions to it. There's just this light. There's just this spaciousness, right? And when this realization is marinated on, and I'm speaking in time now, but it can be an unfolding process in the story, I'm not going to lie. And even if you see it suddenly, it can still take some time to orient. But as this is seen and the story starts to drop away, and you start to realize that you're not the story and the thoughts stop coming, you're just by default left in the directness of what is, right? This is awakening. This is the freedom that you're searching for, that you're already home in, but we're looking in concepts, the past, and expectations, the future, for it. But you've been here, you've been home this whole time. And then, of course, the question comes, well, how do I stay in it though, Shrina? Right? It's like, I understand, but you are it. There's no staying in it. You literally are it. You are not outside of what you're looking for. There's nothing more than this. It's so easy. It's so simple. It's only what is. And even the resistance to the moment, that's it too.